And then a valve tank.
That has got dirt in the bottom, which is one of the reasons that valve grows very well. But I have to harvest it out every month or so and sell it because otherwise it just grows the tank shut. Huh. When I do, the tank gets black from the dirt that I pull up. That's one of the issues with a dirty tank, and that's a holding tank.
That's part of it.
It's there was some valve down there. There's now another Hygrophila salicifolia.
That's a different one.
Yeah, and this is Limia melanogaster, or the black-bellied limia.
Okay. And then as we walk to the back here, oh, you've got one of my favorites. I love these guys. The
weather loach.
Yeah, love the personality on them.
Yeah.
And you got
my goal is to raise those until they're a little bigger, and then maybe put them outside and spawn them next year.
So I want to talk, because obviously a lot of tanks here. How do we do maintenance on this? Do you have a routine? What is your system like? Can we talk about like just general maintenance and then the filtration of this? I see airstone in all of your tanks. So what? Give me kind of your philosophy on.
You don't see a lot of power filters in my tanks.
Right.
What you'll see will be a lot of air stones and air filters. I use that to keep the water turned over. I let the ammonia. My first line of defense is letting the ammonia gas off the surface, which is why I turn the water over. If I have ammonia from overfeeding.
Your first line of defense, say this again so the folks can hear it again. So your first line of defense, you have a lot of gas exchange.
I want to take the water that's at the bottom,
right?
Which is, if there's dirt that falls to the bottom, that's where ammonia is going to be produced. I want to move that water up here and give it a chance for ammonia to escape into the air. That's the first line of defense.
Okay.
Okay. So, or let it gas, and ammonia moves into the air very readily. So that will help. Then my second line of defense is I have a lot of sponge filters in most of my tanks.
I've seen that.
And that's essentially a miniature version of the mat filter, as an example. It acts as a bacterial bed. These have not been changed in a year in most cases.
Nice.
And so it's pulling the water through, and with some detritus out of the dirt. I mean, out of the water.
Right.
And it traps it in there, and then the bacteria break it down, and then they will break it down into nitrite, and then nitrate, which is in the water.
Right.
Then, right? And then I have, in most tanks, I have a lot of hornwort, or I have other plants. Those are actually using the nitrate and nitrite and turning them into plant material. So I can actually take it out as a solid form from my tanks.
And you're feeding the plants, and you just
so
remove that.
I'm using the nitrogen cycle to take my nutrients out. In addition, about every week I do about a third water change.
This is the best looking giant Daniels I've seen, by the way. I love the red on them.
I use those as ditherfish, yeah.
Yeah, and then like, can we show them the lab back here? What else you got going on back here? It keeps going. Look at like a classroom type setup here.
Here's my Nano tank.
It's your Nano tank?
That's guppy grass. There's some myrophilium. Here's the four-spotted Merry Widow. You can see there's a pygmy cory.
Pygmy cory.
There's shrimp in there. There's about 10 species of plants. 10 species of fish and probably about that many plants.
I got to show these. I'm loving these bright barbs right here, whatever the heck they are.
Barbs.
Those are awesome. So I take a seat here, and then you've got the different Lotus, two different Lotus.
Yeah, this is Nymphaea micrantha.
Macrantha?
And, yeah, right. And normally when it's going well, there will be a little plant that will develop right at the base of that petiole.
I've seen that actually.
You can take it off and root it. It's a little difficult. It will also reproduce the bulbs down below, so it's a bulb.
That plant hated being moved. I got some from a guy out in Colorado.
And you see there's some more willow leaf.
Wow.
Back there. And of course, Amazon sword, probably Echinodorus blaira.
You said blaira, not blaira.
Yeah, well, whatever. There's some red melon sword, which grows for me very, very slow.
Love it. Oh, the melons?
Yeah.
They never do as well as the blaira for me. You guys got me saying blaira. And the water, Hygrophila deformis floating there? Or is that water?
No.
That's water sprite. Yeah, it's growing up. I've seen it so much above water recently. I haven't seen it looking like that. And then up here, all this fun stuff.
That's where most of the amicas, was having an algae problem in here, so I tried to move the amicas over here, but they're difficult to catch, so I only got about half. And you can see.
That's half.
Yeah, that's half. Well, you saw the others in the other tank. So, and I've got a colony of albino ancestors in here. That's the only two
I saw
species
those
in this tank.
going for.
But you notice they've pretty well gotten rid of the algae.
Yeah, no, it looks real good. So who's doing the work? The live bearers or the ancestors or both? Or
No, the live bears are. The
live bears are really?
Ancestors been in there for a year and a half and didn't do
They
it.
haven't done it.
Yeah.
And Chuck, what do we got over here? We got some good.
This is a kind of a catch-all tank. This is a different species of swordtail. The one that we looked at a while ago, the Xiphophorus helleri, is considered to be the one of the southern species. This one is Xiphophorus nesocoital.
Different tail for sure.
Or
fin,
notice that the dorsal fin is rounded, like that.
Yeah, way different shape.
So this is this is the primary northern Mexico swordtail. They don't bother the young, and so you can see nearly as much as those over there. Even so, it's an easy colony tank, and plus I put other fish in there that I'm just kind of keeping.
Yeah.
There's some cherry barbs. There's some serpe tetras, a few cardinals.
And now I see a little CO2 running there.
Yes. My goal there is some of these slow-growing plants is to try to speed them up as much as possible. This would be Anubias barteri nana. This would be Anubias barteri nana petite. Notice the difference in the way they grow. A selection out of that. There's back there is some Afzelli with a long, slender leaf.
I got a question for you. What's the difference between Crypt spiralis and Crypt retrospiralis? You're giving me a look. I'm curious. Is there?
Okay, if you're growing them in a pot, they're almost indistinguishable.
Okay.
But the way you determine the names, the speciation of most of the crypts is by looking at the bloom. And the blooms normally will not show up unless they're grown as a bog plant where the rest of the plant's above water.
So you look at the spathe color, and that's what
you look at the color, the shape of the bloom, and the difference between spiralis and retrospiralis is spiralis, the bloom twists in one direction. Retrospiralis, the bloom twists in the other direction. So in the tank, you're probably not going to be able to tell the difference. It's only in the get them out and identify them.
No one's ever explained that to me. I'm so glad I asked you that. That's awesome.
And of course, this is one of my favorite lilies.
Is that what is that?
That's the Taiwan lily.
Oh, that's a hot plant, man. I saw that in the AGA in 2008. We bought one of it. And
the thing about the Taiwan lily is
that's a real cool
plant. It produces nodes. And right here, if I break that off, that becomes a whole new plant.
I know that plant well. My buddy
and then this one will produce leaves at the end of that as well. So you can take one and plant it. Notice how many plants I've got on there now.
Yeah. Oh, Taiwan plant's a really cool plant.
So that one is for me, it's one of the easier. Can't remember. It's a nymphoides.
Nymphaea or nymphoides. Is that
to grow, and it's yeah.
Wow.
And it normally gets up to the top. It does not normally have a floating leaf. It will produce one, but not under most.
Is it trying to escape like a nymphaea is, or does it stay under?
No, it normally stays under.
Okay,
even better. If it gets the floating leaf, it'll be a round leaf.
Wow.
I had those, but not in this particular tank. All right, at this particular location.
Good deal. Well, thank you so much for showing us around here. Man, I'm pumped. I don't know, folks. What do you think? You guys learn anything? I did. Everybody making an awesome week. Hey, thanks everybody, Chuck.
You're welcome.
Tank on, everybody.